Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying these spooky kind of stories. I sure am reading these spooky scaries for you guys. And I'm going to be reading a scary story. And it doesn't have a title, but I'm going to get right into the story. Oh, before I do, I just want to let you know I do have other kind of channels for you guys, like a vlogging channel, a podcast, me reading stories to small kids. So if you guys are interested in any of those videos, feel free to check them out. They're all in the description below, and other channels or accounts that I have. So let's just get right into it. Growing up, I lived in the middle of the woods. No neighbors for a mile each side, and we owned 60 acres of forest. Then I swapped after that. So basically, I lived in the middle of nowhere. The summer when I was about 14, I was out in the middle of the woods playing with my dog. I am the only child, and both of my parents were out of town. When I kept feeling something hit my elbow, I'd go to throw Max's ball, and the bump would make me throw almost straight up. Assuming it was just me bumping into the trees or something, I ignored it. After back and forth time, after throwing the fourth or fifth time, it's happening, I thought. Well, this sucks. I'll just go home. Walking back, I felt uneasy, but I know it was freaking myself out because my dog and I were alone. About an hour later, Max and I were at home on the couch when the garage door opened. He started barking. I hopped up, got to go in my mom or dad, even though they were home really early. I prepared through the peepholes and saw the door was still shut and no one was in the garage. Quieting Max down, I opened the door slowly and called out for my dad. Nothing. No response at all. So I checked the door and it's still locked. Okay, sure. Weird, but oh well. Max heard it too, so at least I know I'm not crazy. About 20 minutes later, I heard the door opening again, and this time Max started growling like crazy. I quiet him down again and just assume it was the wind or making noises, even though by this point my heart is racing. I heard footsteps come down the stairs. Oh geez, Dad really is home this time. And I hopped down, run to the door, and start to jiggle, so I ran after him. I peep through the hole, and even though my hands is loosely around and juggling hand, there's no one on the other side of the door. Terrified, I go hide on the couch with the lights on. Max is still growling. After about an hour after that, I started to feel a little better, but even though I'm still terrified when I heard the door handle juggling again. At this time, it was Max jiggling it. He needed to go outside, and the only way outside is through the garage. Fantastic. I literally sprint with him I literally sprint with him to go in the kennel, and I'm still standing in there to decide what to do to set. As I am standing in there, I decide to ask this thing questions to make myself feel better, because I knew I wouldn't answer me. Thinking about what to ask, my eyes were drawn drawn to the huge heavy oak door on the kennel. It was always open because it was too heavy for me to move easily. I said, "Okay, ghost, if you're real, you'll shut the heavy door." Nothing. A minute goes by. Nothing. Max is still sniffing around. I turned around and yelled at him to hurry up, and then from behind I heard a click, then whipped around and saw a giant door had swung shut and latched. Okay, clearly it was just the wind. It wasn't really the wind, but it was the wind. For sure, it had to be. I proceed, "Okay, ghost, that was really the wind. If you're really real, you would open the massive door back up." Nothing. I relaxed a bit and then squat down, my head onto the knees, reminiscing about how lame I just was being scared to hear the click-clack. The door was now wide open. The wind was done. Max was done, so we booked it back in the house, locking every door in the house. For the next 4 hours, we would hear the footsteps on the stairs and the door handle juggling every few minutes. Until around 11 p.m., my dad walks in and yells at me for wasting the electricity. I never told him or my mom about about it until about 4 months later, when my dad came in from hunting after dark. He looked shaken, and I asked him what was wrong. He said he aimed at 2 deer but missed both completely because it fell felt as if something was hitting his elbow and making him shoot away from the deer. That's when I told him everything. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were, if you guys had ever had that kind of experience or something similar. And if you have any stories that you want me to share with you guys, please send it to me. I do have a Facebook account and Instagram. Go check them out in the description below. Also Twitter. So all that information is in the description below. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.